What does it mean to be an alchemist? How do you become an alchemist? Those are the questions I'm going to answer today. An alchemist is someone that is proficient in the skill of alchemy. What is alchemy? Alchemy is a process of transmutation. It is to thoroughly change something from one state to another. So, I'm not sure where you're coming at this from, but there's always been two different ways to look at alchemy. The first was to look at it from a strictly physical point of view. When they say they're going to transform lead to gold, people thought they were actually taking physical lead and transforming it to physical gold. So that's one way to look at it, and that's how it's viewed by modern history. But see, the true secret of alchemy, the true practice of alchemy, is one that is not physical. I mean, the physical is definitely involved within it, but it's spiritual and psychological. See, we say transform lead to gold because what we're speaking of is lead, which is the base consciousness, transforming that into gold, purifying it. So, in essence, what we're speaking about is transforming your life to live the best life you possibly can. And you do this through practice and also facing yourself and being honest, seeing who you are and accepting that, and then doing what needs to be done to become who you wish to be. So, the alchemist is one who is honest with himself, for they see where they are and they see what they want to become. And then they face who they are now so that they can become that which they want. You feel what I'm saying? So, let me hop up on this rock real quick. So, we're just out here transmuting our thoughts. That's a lot to do with alchemy as well. It's one of the first lessons you'll learn in alchemy is that everything has a positive and a negative, two poles. And it's a matter of where you're placing your attention based upon what you will witness within that. So, it's been a journey for me, but I do consider myself an alchemist. And the key is to basically take the consciousness that you have right now, all the impurities that come along with it, so whatever that may be, because we all have our demons, you feel what I'm saying? We all have, greed, lust, envy, pride, all of that. We got that. And there's no need to deny it because it's just a fact. If you just pay attention to yourself and be honest, you'll recognize that that's there. So, what an alchemist does is recognize that. But then, he takes it the next step and says, okay, I see that, but let's transform these into virtues. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing, is facing myself, being honest with what I see, and then choosing to become an alchemist and choosing to transmute that quality to something else. Because, there's 5 different elements. And that is ether, air, earth, water, and fire. So, we're not necessarily speaking about physical elements. We're talking about psychological elements. For example, ether is expansiveness. It's spaciousness. And that's what all the 4 elements come from and emerge from. So, when one works in harmony with the ether within themselves, they are able to see the other 4 elements and transmute them correctly. The other 4 elements: water, fluid. How fluid and flexible are you? Air, mobility. Fire, temperature. Earth, solidity and foundation. Okay? So, each of these elements can be found within our consciousness, within our psychological makeup, our psyche. And so, as an alchemist, we recognize that these elements come forth within us as what we like to call ordeals, or trials, lessons, to show ourselves, basically ourselves. And it's up to us to be able to see the truth and face it. That way we can transform it. So, ether is linked in to Kundalini and the divine energy that flows throughout us, the mother. You feel what I'm saying? So, the key is, for one, don't waste your sexual energy, because sexual energy is creative life force. That's your vital life force. Don't waste it, instead transmute it. And so I've learned along my journey, and it has been a long process, but I can definitely say that I have gotten more adept at what I am doing, and it's often through the breath that I choose to transmute that energy. So, because you have to recognize that sexual energy, for instance, you need to transmute it, because if you don't consciously transmute it, what ends up happening is that it becomes wasted, because it needs an outlet to present itself, to channel itself through. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, that's my music. For me, that's my yoga, my qigong, my pranayama breath work. So, getting back to this. The alchemist is one who fully sees himself as he is, and is working towards finding that Buddha within him and bringing it out to dissolve his ego and rearrange his psychological qualities so that they are beneficial, so that they are not just benefiting him, but benefiting others. Because as an alchemist, we don't just act from a place of selfishness. No, we come from a place of humility. We are here to help others as well, and we give back. So, an alchemist is one who releases their attachments. Now, what does that mean? Well, see, a lot of us are attached to like technology. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's our phone. But eventually along our journey, we have to release that, because if not, it can kind of hold us down. So, it's all about finding healthy ways to release that in harmony. Hey, how's it going? Doing wonderful. So, it's about releasing our attachments, that way we aren't held down by them. You feel what I'm saying? We can flow freely throughout life. So, how do you become an alchemist? Well, the truth is, there's an inner alchemist within each and every one of us, but we have to be aware of that. We have to listen to that inner voice, that true alchemist that is within us. So, first thing I'd recommend, if you want to become an alchemist and you want to learn how to transmute things from one state to another within yourself, so that you can become the greatest you and walk your highest path. And so, alchemy is just one route to do that. There's many, many, many different routes. And you just find what aligns with you. You feel what I'm saying? My suggestion would be to dip your foot in a little bit of everything, and then see what vibes with you, and then go with it. So, if you want to become an alchemist, study it. Go and find out just exactly what alchemy is, and give your own definition to it, your own explanation. What you just heard was my explanation. And also understand that it goes much deeper into the depths of your being. That was a very base definition of what an alchemist is and what they're attempting to do. So, in order for you to become an alchemist, you have to start listening to your inner voice and moving upon that rather than your ego. You feel what I'm saying? Because your ego is the one that we often feed, because we aren't aware of the other voice. So, becoming an alchemist is moving from a place of being selfish to a place of being selfless, and basically sharing that with others while doing the internal work. So, if you want to become an alchemist, choose to become an alchemist, and do what needs to be done to get there. You feel what I'm saying? Alchemy is an ancient teaching. And when you take advantage of these ancient teachings that have existed for thousands of years, you will see profound changes within your life. You know, within your attitude, within your consciousness. Every single day I'm transmuting my thoughts, you know? Because I have always a choice. I could wake up and be like, I felt like doing that, why not? So I could wake up and be like, man, I'm so tired, can't get out of bed. Or I could be like, ooh, getting up out of bed, feeling good once again, you know, vibing high like that. So it's just all about how you place your focus. And then to recognize that we can also have patterns of thought that doesn't serve us at all. So it's a matter of transmuting these, because see, along my journey, like, I was depressed for a couple years, and I had to find ways to transmute my thoughts. So in order to do that, what I did was I inserted thoughts into I reprogrammed my subconscious mind, you see? So that's part of alchemy as well. It's reprogramming your subconscious mind, reprogramming your entire being, essentially. That's what it is. It's basically like dismantling everything that you are and then picking it back up and putting it back together whole. Because the way that it works is like, the ultimate goal is to become completely whole, okay? And right now, oftentimes, we find ourselves within a predicament of being fragmented, meaning that we are identifying as one aspect of ourselves, not as the whole thing. So, in order to become whole, what we need to do is recognize that everything has a place. It's just a matter of where we choose to place it. So, if you want to become an alchemist, you want to become whole once again, you have to dismantle everything. You have to dissolve your ego, dissolve who you were, and then be born again and put yourself back together. So, I did a minor form of this. Well, actually, I wouldn't even say minor. You know, I did a form of this while I was in Hawaii. I decided that I was no longer going to be James, because James was the person that I was born as, but I knew I wasn't that. So I changed my name to Nature, and I've been vibing with that ever since. But I still have much more work to do, because again, nature is another persona, and I recognize that I'm much more than that, and I'm moving to be more than that. So if you want to become an alchemist, start applying principles into your life right now that can help you. The number one thing that's going to be beneficial to you at this stage most likely will be, well, really it's beneficial to everyone. So yeah, it's about bringing your full consciousness here and now. You feel what I'm saying? Filling the present moment with awareness of what exactly is taking place. Awareness of yourself, awareness of your environment, awareness of your internal world and external world. You feel me? So that's what it's about. If you want to become an alchemist, start becoming aware of yourself. Because basically what an alchemist is doing is basing themselves and choosing what they wish to become, seeing who they are, but then choosing who they wish to be. So that's my message for today, which is, here, breathing into the depths of our being, you know what I'm saying, that core right here, that Dantean, filling it up with light. Come back to nature and free yourself. Thank you once again for joining in. If this helped you, please subscribe, hit that like button, because you know that we're traveling. We're just here in nature as always. Thank you. I love you.